Welcome back again to Thai Story with Jenny. In today's video, you will hear a story from an American man from Ohio. His name is Daniel. Daniel met a massage girl in Bangkok. Many massage girls do not want to work in the bar, so many men think they are different from typical bar girls. After he visited his girlfriend in massage parlors many times, he asked her out for a date and ended up marrying her at the end. Does it work out? Let's find out. But before we listen, please like and subscribe to my channel. And if you enjoy this content and want to support me and my channel, please consider buying me coffee. Just scan QR code right here. It will give you the link to buy me coffee page. And don't forget, leave the comment down below. I will try my best to answer all your comments. Finally, I hope you enjoy the background footage of this video, which is from River Kwai boat ride from Kanchanaburi province. Okay guys, let's listen to the story. ขอบคุณค่ะ
Hi Jenny. My name is Daniel, and what happened to me in Bangkok still sits on my chest like a weight I can't shake off. Some stories you look back on with nostalgia, others with embarrassment. This one I look back on with dread, like remembering a place where you almost died without realizing it. I didn't come to Thailand for the women. I came because my job bored me, and my life back home felt like a stale waiting room with no door out. Bangkok was a temporary escape, a neon fever dream where nobody knew me. And then I met Myra. She was a massage worker at an anonymous massage shop, the kind that tourists don't brag about. It was dim, cramped, a little too quiet. She never stood outside with the other girls calling out, "Hello handsome man, you want massage?" She was always inside, head down, focused on her work like the world outside didn't interest her. Her massages were different, firm, deliberate, almost intimate in a way that didn't feel sexual. She was small, soft-spoken, but there was a tension in her touch, like she was holding back something sharp beneath the surface. After a few visits, I found myself thinking about her even when I wasn't in the shop. Ridiculous, I know. But loneliness makes fools of us all. One night, as she finished working the knots out of my calves, I heard myself ask, "Do you ever have time off? Maybe we could get a drink sometime." She froze, hands still on my legs. Her eyes flicked up, guarded. "I work every day," she said quietly. "But maybe I try." She took my number with hesitation, like accepting it might come with consequences. When she didn't call for 2 days, I assumed I'd misread everything, that she saw me as just another tourist trying his luck. But on the third evening, my phone buzzed. "You free? Can meet 10:30 p.m. My heart kicked into a joyous rhythm I didn't want to acknowledge. We met at a small bar tucked in an alley behind Nana. Cheap beer, loud fans, dim bulbs. The kind of place where broken people gather because the light is too harsh elsewhere. Conversation with Myra wasn't easy. She answered slowly, as if weighing every word. She told me she was from a village near Udon Thani, that her father had died young, that money was always tight. The massage shop let her sleep in the back, so she didn't have to pay rent. At some point she mentioned, in a flat, emotionless tone, that she sometimes went with customers when she had no choice. She looked at me like she expected me to judge her. I didn't. Maybe I should have. By our third or fourth meeting, she came back to my hotel. There was no talk of money, no performance. It felt frighteningly real, like she had finally decided to let someone in. After that night, something changed between us. She became warmer, less mechanical. I became foolish, more attached. Within a month, she spent more nights at my place than at the shop. I was being slowly entangled in her web. What I didn't realize then was that love, or something that felt like love, can be the softest trap in the world. It doesn't snap shut suddenly. It tightens so slowly you don't feel it until you can't breathe. Myra began shaping her life around mine. She cooked for me, washed my clothes, checked my messages by accident, told me which bars to avoid because bad girls there. Once, after a night out, she curled into my chest and whispered, "You no go with other girls, okay? I only have you." Her voice trembled slightly when she said it. Possession disguised as devotion. I didn't see it. When she asked if we could visit her family, I agreed, seeing no harm in it. She said her mother needed help with money, so I gave her 20,000 baht for clothes and a gold necklace to show respect. We traveled to her dusty village where uncles, cousins, neighbors all watched me with half smiles, like she'd brought home a used car. Her father, or maybe it was her stepfather, her story changed all the time, requested a traditional gift of 30,000 baht to show I was serious. I thought it was absurd. At first I refused, which was when Myra hit me with the "my family lose" face. I'd heard of this scam 100 times from other Westerners in bars. I'd quietly sworn to myself I'd never give in to it. But it's different when you're surrounded by the family. It's like an ambush. Then Myra's behavior changed. She cried quietly in the bathroom until I agreed. Looking back, I realized the entire visit was staged like a theater production. But, at the time, I thought it was just their cultural expectations, or respect for her family, or something along those lines. I felt like such a fool. What about respect for me? On reflection, I concluded that I was just the guest being fleeced. When I left Thailand for a short trip back home, Myra started messaging constantly. "Miss you. I lonely. Video call? You talk to who? Why you no answer fast?" At first it felt flattering, then suffocating. She said she wanted to better herself, maybe study cosmetology, but needed money. Of course she did. I sent her what she asked for, believing it would help her escape the life she hated. But when I returned to Bangkok, nothing had changed. It looked obvious that she had attended no classes, as she had zero progress and zero new skills. All I heard was that she needed more money for one thing or another, more emergencies, more tears. And every time I questioned her, she either cried harder or got passive-aggressive. "Why you hurt me? You think I bad woman? You think I lie?" They're full of it. She weaponized fragility. Every argument ended with me trying to calm her down. Nothing reasonable came out of her mouth, just the twisted ideas she'd convinced herself of. Further down the line, I found myself married to this woman. How? I'm at a loss to explain, because it definitely wasn't a logical decision. I don't even remember proposing. It seems to have been more of her idea. It happened in a fog of insecurity, guilt, and mistaken loyalty. She cried, clung to me, and whispered, "If you marry me, I never leave you." Chance would have been a fine thing. But part of me felt sorry for her. She seemed to do her best to please me, and her desperation to find a husband who could provide for her sounded like devotion you rarely experience in the West. But I was imagining things. She was only in it for herself, but knew how to play the good little woman to please the man. They seem to be programmed like this, and at first, it is so convincing. But really, I should have took this as a warning. I didn't. We registered the marriage quietly, without ceremony, in a government building that was as nondescript as an immigration office. Her relatives were there again, the same thin smiles, the same heavy expectation in their eyes. She looked radiant. But in her eyes, I saw something else. Not love, but relief, as if she'd secured something important. Married life didn't feel like a happy, contented life. There was a lingering tension. Within a few weeks, Myra grew strangely controlling of every aspect of my life. She was constantly suspicious, tired, and moody. It was as if this was a natural progression after the marriage knot had been tied, round 2, or something like that. It caught me by surprise. I felt trapped. If I was out for a beer with a mate and didn't answer her call within 2 minutes, she accused me of cheating. If I didn't want to give money to her brother again, another accident, another problem, she screamed that I didn't respect her family. Her spending spiraled. Clothes she wore once. Jewelry she pawned secretly. Nights out with salon friends that she refused to explain. Then came the first time she didn't come home. When she stumbled in late, reeking of alcohol and cigarette smoke, she looked at me with eyes that weren't hers. "What? You're not my father." She pushed past me and went straight to bed. I felt like I'd had enough, but how could I escape? Then things went from bad to worse. One day she left her phone open and went for a shower. The truth came in a message from a stranger. A man sent pictures of Myra in Chiang Mai with her arms around him like she used to wrap them around me. I saw screenshots of their chats and hotel receipts that she's paid for, obviously with money she'd siphoned from me. I felt the white-hot rage rise inside of me, but took a few deep breaths to calm myself down. When she came out of the shower and got dressed, I didn't shout. I didn't throw anything. I just showed her the phone. Her face drained of color. Then she collapsed onto the floor like her strings had been cut. "I sorry. I stupid. He tricked me. Please, Daniel, I need you. I have no one." Her blubbering filled the apartment like a bad smell. It was toxic and I wanted to get away from it. I didn't want the drama, nor did I want to move out of the house. It was easier to just forgive her. She had started to mean less and less to me, so saying to her that it was all right and that I understood was less hassle. But once doubt enters the bloodstream, it never leaves. Months later, while cleaning the apartment, I found a small burner phone wedged behind the wardrobe. I almost dropped it when the screen lit up. There were multiple social media accounts and the messages were clear. Men. Multiple. Not one affair. 4. Some of messages were explicit enough to make me nauseous. Others casual. When you come to Phuket. Same price as last time? Miss your body. My chest felt hollow. Like someone had scooped the inside out. When Myra returned that evening, I didn't hide it. I placed the phone gently on the table. She didn't pick it up. She just stared at it with empty resignation. "You find it sooner or later," she whispered. Her voice wasn't sad. It was exhausted, like she was tired of hiding everything. "I'm not good woman," she said. "But I try with you. I really try." Her lies were incessant. It was like she was a born liar. When she spoke, it sounded like the truth, convincing. If you met her for the first time, you'd swear the sun shone out of her backside and butter wouldn't melt in her mouth. We separated without fireworks. No final betrayal. No screaming. She moved out quietly. She'd already bled me dry and I was low on funds. She knew, so moving on to her looked like not such a bad thing. She was still young and would be planning her next victim. She packed her clothes into cheap bags, and of course she took the gold I'd bought her, now scratched and dull from pawnshop cycles. I didn't want to argue, just let her go. At the door, she hesitated. "You good man," she said softly. "Too good. I ruin you. I don't want ruin more." For the first time, her voice carried no performance, no fear, no manipulation. Just truth. And then she was gone. People expect anger when I tell this story. Or self-pity. Or disgust. What I feel is stranger, a kind of grief mixed with understanding. She didn't lie because she enjoyed it. She lied because that came naturally to her. She didn't cheat for fun. She cheated because it gave her more money and that defined her sense of security. She didn't use me like a con artist. She used me like a lifeline. She told me that this is what Thailand does to many young women who feel trapped in a world of poverty with no safety net from the state. "You lucky in America," she'd say, referring to the Social Security and food stamps. And me? Well, I mistook need for love. The truth is simple and brutal. Some people don't want to hurt you. But they will, because survival taught them nothing else. Myra didn't ruin my life. I walked into the darkness willingly, thinking I was immune. Thinking kindness was enough to fix someone drowning in their own struggle. It wasn't. And some nights, when I pass the mirror and catch my own reflection, I still see the man who believed a whisper, a smile, a touch could save someone. A man who didn't realize, sometimes love isn't the light. Sometimes love is a trap that snares a man into marrying a pretty Thai girl to be a hero, a savior figure. But that's a huge mistake. Most men need their independence if they are going to enjoy their freedom. Getting married to a Thai woman just enables her and her family to relax and mistakenly believe they can leave financial worries to the Western guy they think is rich enough to keep providing permanently. When he can't, that's when it all comes crumbling down. That's when it hits the fan. If this sounds familiar to anyone out there, I would love to hear your version. Thanks, Daniel, Ohio.
Okay guys, you heard the story. What do you think? Here's my opinion why I think this situation end up as a failure marriage. I think Daniel can work out by himself toward to the end of his story. She insecure about the money and only see him as a financial asset, not as a person. I see him as far as the money goes and as long as he can provide. Cheating. She also cheating on him with other men. She behaved like a typical bar girl. Or someone to see you as an ATM walking machine, there is absolutely no chance to have relationship with. This couple, they have no children, so there is no shared family interest to keep them together. Many Thai Western relationships won't last for long term because they got no kids involved. You heard my opinion, so please leave the comment to have your say. Bye. Until my next video, ขอบคุณค่ะ Thank you. Bye.